Welcome back to the Late Start Show with me, Charlie Martin.
And me, Jack Nelson.
We once again hope you're enjoying a nice break from waking up at the crack of dawn. Hopefully, we can give you something good to listen to on your morning commute to school. This week's interview is with Senior Tristan Jackson and has some incredibly memorable parts and some inspirational words. But before we get to that great interview, let's first review what this week has to offer.
Let's get to our sports section, shall we? First, with soccer, the team picked up a win last Tuesday against Archbishop Hoban 1-0 on senior night, and then traveled to Western Reserve Academy on Saturday to tie them 1-1, with Alex Borden scoring our one goal. According to Max Pratt, this leads them to an overall record of 8-4-3 and a spot up in the state rankings to 34th. They travel to Gilmore on Thursday at 7 p.m. for their final game of the regular season, and as a good revenge. Good luck to them.
Next, in football, we had a big win against Conference Champ Lutheran East last Friday, 31-14, to go to an overall record of 3-4. The team has 2 games left in their regular season, with the team looking to beat the Cheney Cowboys this Friday at home at 4 p.m. The team is strong, but as always, our U.S. football team will be resilient and hopefully win to catapult us into the final game of the year and into the playoffs.
In golf, the team played at the OHSAA District Tournament at Pine Hills. They placed third out of 20 of some of the best teams in the state. This means they will advance for the second time ever to the Division I state championship. The last time was in 2017, and they look to leave another mark on U.S. golf history. Junior Bennett Johnson led the group as he was the third best player in the entire tournament, with a score of 70. The team leaves this upcoming weekend traveling to Dayton for the state championship on Monday and Tuesday. We wish them good luck as they head to hopefully bring back another state championship.
With that, we finally go to cross country, where they traveled to the Legends Meet at Trumbull County Fairgrounds on Saturday and finished in 5th place out of 26 teams. Senior Jack O'Neill led the pack again, finishing in 21st place with a time of 16 minutes and 36 seconds, having an average mile time of 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Following him was junior Ethan Ansevin in 23rd place, only 4 seconds later. This is the team's final meet of the season, and they did a great job this year, putting in some amazing times.
Now, some of the biggest news around the school. This past week, the University School Rocketry team was selected to participate in NASA's SLI Engineering Challenge. It's a college challenge open to some of the best universities and colleges nationwide in 20 selected high schools. This year-long challenge will task the team to design, build, and fly a high-powered rocket following NASA milestones. They will meet with multiple NASA engineers virtually for each stop of the mission. If the team passes each milestone, they will be invited to fly their mission in Huntsville, Alabama. Congrats to them. Next, looking at our week's senior speeches, we had excellent speeches from Jake Lobsansky and Andrew Voinovich, and look forward this week to a Thursday speech from Thomas Hedden, and next week to speeches from Z McGee, Tyler Zyro, and Casey Martin.
Well, guys, that's enough from us about this week. Coming up soon is an interview with football captain and entrepreneur, Senior Tristan Jackson. He sat down with us to talk about his time playing football, his family, and some valuable life advice. All right, let's jump into it. Tristan Jackson, up next. Welcome back to the show. We're here with Tristan Jackson, aka T-Money. Before we get started, what's your favorite nickname you've been called throughout the years?
T-Money. It's my original one. It's kind of what I had growing up when I was younger. It was made a thing my freshman year. I had a bag, custom bag that had T-Money on it. And the seniors, they made it a thing, and it was really a football thing, and then everyone throughout the school year just started to call me it, so, yeah.
Okay, T-Money. So you're the football captain, big guy, loud guy. Some people might say you're a scary guy, but those are the people that haven't truly met you. What do you think is your legacy at US?
Wow, my legacy. Never really thought about it, but I guess now that you say it, football captain, I love having it. The title is great, but I hate it being like an entitlement, as some people feel like you're being entitled as a captain. I thought of it more just a reward, just because of efforts that you put in, the hard work that you have to put in to prove it. I really think my captainship, having because of all the leaders I've had before in my other years, just like your role models, you go after them and everything. I guess my legacy is on the football field, being able to teach others or teach my younger guys. For example, Bobby Berglund, one of my young guys. Definitely trying to help him out so he's prepared for varsity when he truly like plays and starts. And other guys like Darren, just taking him under my wing and trying to teach him the ways of how varsity football really is. And then I guess outside of football, I mean, kind of just being a good person. Now, I guess people say I'm scary. That's kind of funny to me. I've never really gotten that one. I mean, I guess intimidation, I've gotten that for sure. But, I mean, I kind of want to be left here as just like a good person. It's just like knowing I had an effect on certain people and a lot of people. I mean, and I guess my other thing that I have legacy-wise is probably being a baker here. I mean, that's a big thing. People talk about it and I mean, ask me a lot about my baking and for me to bake. So, man, I guess that's probably my legacy.
I know, going off that football thing, I know you actually had the chance to play with your brother, right? And he was a captain. And what's really the importance of family to you? Because, I mean, you kind of talk about you mentoring other football athletes. What was it like with him on your team?
Man, I had him for 2 years, my freshman year and my sophomore year. My freshman year, it was just like, you know, you got to see your brother just play and really see what he does. I mean, like, because you do the work behind with him. Behind closed doors, you're both doing the same thing. It's just physical appearances are a lot different. So just my freshman year sitting on the sideline and really seeing him work and play, I mean, it was great. My sophomore year, being able to work as hard as I possibly could in make varsity and try to get some playing time. And then to be able to, in the last couple of games, play right next to him. I mean, that's one of my greatest moments. Yeah, being able to play beside him, it's I mean, it's really different. And I really found out what varsity football was when playing with him. Like, the pace is so fast and so much faster than like JV and freshman. Because there's been certain plays where he made the tackle right when I got off the ball as a sophomore, and it's like I would move so much slower than he would. So you really just like get to realize like, wow, this is where I want. This is how I want to be, and you just see how you could achieve it. I mean, it was a great for him to have me. For me to have him as a role model. I mean, be able to talk about captain stuff and just regular stuff with him, and to be able to talk about it with him now, it's even better because he has a way better understanding of football because he's playing in college now.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, family means a lot to me. I mean, in my senior speech, I talked about my dad, and my dad had cancer, and so yeah, family means the world to me. I always like say, and my family always say, I mean, we always have our thing, morals as God, family, money. Yeah, we cherish a lot of each other, and just like making sure everyone's okay and checking in on everybody. Just something we've done for however long I've been alive, really. So yeah, it means everything.
And I know you said going back to football, playing alongside your brother was one of your favorite memories. Do you have any other football memories that you really enjoy looking back on?
Oh, wow. Wow, damn. Man, besides that, that's hard. I guess last year, probably Bay and Gilmore. Bay, we came back down 17-0. And be able to play in that and like really experience it is something. It's really crazy. I mean, for the whole team not even like really get down on their shoulders and just lift everybody back up to come back. I mean, it was great, honestly. And like even playing defensively in the game, you get a couple stops and like get the momentum going. I mean, it's crazy. And also Gilmore last year, I mean, that's probably one of my best games I ever played. Just had a lot of fun out there. I mean, that's really it. But I guess my favorite memory so far, probably getting my first varsity pancake. I mean, it's just something like you just remember the memory forever. It's like, you know, it's just your very first big play, kind of, as an offensive lineman.
You know, one of the things like I've personally been wondering all the time is in like the final moments right before we go out to go play, you put on your headphones, right, and you're listening to something. I've always wondered, what is it you listen to right before you go out? And is it, I don't know, I've always wondered, like, in that moment, what are you feeling and what are you listening to?
Wow, yeah. I've been doing it since I really started it my sophomore year. So obviously up until the game, I'll listen to music. I guess my music genre is very different than others. I guess for away games or regular home games, to walk down to the field, obviously, I mean, my typical music is you're a rap sometime, but usually like throughout the game, my pregame, I don't listen to any rap. Try not to. I mean, it hypes certain people up. It's not really me. So to your answer, so every song I listen to before the game when we go out before Mabasa comes in is it's Rocket Love by Stevie Wonder. It means a lot to me because it's my uncle's favorite song before he died, and I really never understood the meaning of it, of why he liked it so much. But now listening to it every game, I mean, like, it's kind of a ritual I have to do. Like, if I don't get it in, I don't think I play well. I mean, it's like kind of a superstition. And like the one time I didn't get it in, we lost. I mean, like, I've lost more games not getting in the song, but I really played horrible that game. And I just always try to get it in. And even if I can't get it in before I go out, at least I get it in my pregame walk. That and John Legend, Ordinary People. Those are probably my two songs that I listen to every pregame before I go out. I try to get one or the other in before I get rushed out on the field. So yeah, that's my song that I always put my headphones on and tune out all the noise to. It's just something that calms me down. I mean, for some people, it could be rap. Me, it's just soul and that. But yeah, I mean, you could always ask my teammates about that. I mean, they could probably tell you. I don't talk during pregame.
No.
I don't. I say maybe minimum 5 words. Guys always talk about how in practice I could be like super active and like go happy, go lucky, and just like kind of messing around, but like having fun. But when we really get to the games, I don't talk. I try not to. I try to just lock in and focus on myself. Really just something I've always done. Because once I really do that, I find like actually relax, because when you're not calm and relaxed, you end up having some tense nerves. And I've had that back to my sophomore year. I remember I jumped high, false started, just like because of nerves, and I wasn't really calm and didn't really have trust in myself because I haven't played it before. So yeah, that's really why.
Do you talk when you're on the field? Do you trash talk at all?
Yeah, here and there. I mean, obviously, it's a part of the game. I don't do it heavy. I talk a little bit on the field too, but in general, I don't really talk that much. You probably Charlie probably back me up on this. I mean, he's there with me most of the time. Now, trash talk on the field, not really as much as you would think. I mean, it can be here and there, like really depending on like who you play.
Yeah, only if someone makes you mad. Then
yeah,
you got it.
It really depends on. Yeah, it definitely depends on who you play. Like, if it's a friend and I mean, obviously there's gonna be trash talk. But even if it's a team where, I mean, like you feel like they're getting on your nerve, but you're like dominating, yeah, that's when it really kicks in. But I try not to. I just try to dominate my opponent where there can be no trash talk.
I know one of the most important things for me too is balancing football, school. I know you have your company like TJ Sweets, like all these different things. Is there like, what is that balance for like that mental health balance between all three of those like for you?
Honestly, journaling. My junior year, so last year, took up Ryan's class and he made you journal and really you got to write all your thoughts down. So I guess that's something I've really taken with me, a journal to just make sure everything's cool, calm, and collective. And my mom and dad help me with organizing. My mom helps me most with organizing my plan and time out. That's really how I keep my mental state. They always make sure I'm okay, check on me every day, make sure I'm being able to balance it. And then I just also come to my own balance of like during football season, I know I'm not gonna be able to really work with the company as much. So it's really just football and school. But then after football season, I really shift the focus to school and baking. So I've always had a better balance now that I'm doing so much. But no, there have been points where it's like I've hit just like, wow, I got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Especially like as a senior applying to colleges. Yeah, there's some times when like I gotta bake for an order, then I have football, and then I have school as well. So trying to find that equal balance, it is hard, I'll tell you that much. It's sometimes it's a struggle, but being able to have the people I have around me, it helps me out the most.
And let's go to that baking business called TJ Sweets. Why did you start that?
So I started my freshman year. The reason I started it, so I really wanted this game for my Xbox at the time. Forget the game. I think it was Call of Duty. And my parents were like, well, we're done buying you these games. And well, now with like the new gens, they're like $80. So they're like, we're done. We can't do it anymore. You got to figure out how to make money. And they're like, figure it out on your own. And so really I saw people always selling it at every cafe. And I was like, how do I do it? And then I talked to Brandon Parks, old senior when I was a sophomore. Well, actually, old junior when I was a sophomore. And I was like, how do I get into what you're doing? And he showed me the way and took me to Mrs. Dragard. And then we had a meeting and talked about, well, what could I do? And always something that comes to my mind was desserts. Everyone loves sweets. Almost everyone has a sweet tooth. And it's something like undeniable. And chocolate chip cookies came up because it was like, I thought it was a staple. And just being able to start off with that gives you something to move around with. And so I started off with chocolate chip cookies, and my first selling thing I did at the school, something small, made like $125 in that day, had enough to buy the game. And then they were like, you should sell at markets since it did so well. And I went to Shaker Square Market, and obviously, presentation was horrible. I mean, it did nothing. I literally looked like I just had literally started a day ago. And I mean, presentation was horrible. Me trying to speak to public was horrible. I was very like shy and not really outgoing. And so being able to try to like sell was super hard, but it worked. And then I guess getting up to the point of now, I really have made most of my progress just because you talk to so many people. Like you go to so many events, you meet so many people, and you just get to share your story a lot. So I guess the real reason I did it was just to make money, because I was at a point in time where like I want something. And since it hasn't stopped and it's been going so well, I just like continue with it. And I'll probably take it on to college. I mean, why not? It's been really good up until this point. So I mean, yeah, I really started it just so I was like, yeah, I can buy this game. I was just super trigger happy, but no, it also has taught me some valuable lessons of just handling money, saving, putting away, investing time, return on investment. I mean, just those like key things, like being able to budget. I've gone over budget sometimes with the baking, being able to profit still. Because if you buy so many ingredients and you don't profit, well, that's when it gets really bad. I've been at those points, and then you're recovering, and you finally recover. But then once you recover, you have to replenish or restock. So then you're back into the negatives. So it took me a really couple events to really get into the really profit margins, the really good profit margins, just because of how much time and energy it takes to even buy everything. Like I really didn't know until I really jumped into it. I thought it was just gonna be a breeze, a walk. So.
When I was talking with everybody else about you, because I know, kind of back to that first question that we said, we know you, we know you play football, we know your baking company, but really you at the deep, at the core. I mean, at least I hadn't seen to your senior speech, which was great, by the way. I loved it. One of the things that was interesting though was when I was talking to people, they said you use baking pretty much as an outlet, which is great. I think that's really, really cool. What does that mean to you, using baking as an athlete, and how do you think the U.S. community has reacted to it as a whole? Because everybody I talk to loves the cookies.
Oh man, well, honestly, I've always been baking. I baked with my mom growing up, during holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, baking just as a thing to just bond, have joy. And my outlet really became that during that time period with my dad, just because when you're doing it, you're by yourself. You really get to think. And thinking for me at that time was probably the best thing I've ever needed in my life. Truly, just being able to really fine tune my product and really focus on me in that sense. Because when you're doing it, the time in between, you can do whatever. I mean, really, once the product is in the oven, it feels like a lot of time just because of how long I've been doing it, but you can think and jot down ideas, and really that's what I did. I guess really to your point of people truly knowing me to my deep core, until that point, my really deep core that people I guess don't know about me is I'm not really as outgoing as some people think. I show it, but I guess my bigger deep thing that I guess quote unquote hide is, like I said, just certain things are super close to me. My dad. It took me 2 years to share that story. The only people who knew were the people I showed in my speech, and maybe a little couple other friend groups. Now, the reason I shared that is because I just wanted to finally get it off my chest. And it was like one of those things of like, I wanted to share. I've been wanting to share it for a little bit. And the reason why I truly did it was I finally got to talk to my dad about it and finally talk to him about like what truly happened. Because I really didn't know what truly was happening. And as a kid, I'm just trying to get through high school, right? And then that little roadblock hits and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And so to be able to talk to him about it and really get his blessing to let me share the speech was just a relief. I mean, because I felt the pressure. And I mean, when you get to the senior speech process too, you really want to share something that people don't know you for. And sharing something that people didn't know me for was probably my biggest thing. Like, everyone knows me for football. Everyone knew me for banking. So I wanted to leave a mark on who I really was. And I felt like I accomplished that. And if I did, I wanted to do that because if I talk about football and banking, I don't think people will really pay attention. I mean, like, they would. It'd be nice, woohoo. Pat on the back, you talked about what you love. But yeah, I mean, I really did it to really express myself. Kind of show who I truly am. Because there are points in life where we're now in a different community of like vulnerability people believe is bad. But I believe vulnerability is good because you learn and other people can show empathy or talk about their moments. And I'm hoping that my senior speech and obviously senior speeches before that were great, talk about more personal stories of how just like what really changed them instead of just like your basic ones. I think that's kind of my biggest thing that I've always wanted at US because I mean, I could tell you now, there's some speeches that I remember and then there's some that I just don't because they just weren't important. They just weren't impactful. So I definitely just want more people to talk about the impactful things in their life. Because that's what you remember. Those are what people are gonna remember you for instead of what you were mainly remembered for.
Yeah, it's the emotion that connects people.
You know, one of the things I've almost had a tradition of asking everybody, and I think I'm going to get a really interesting answer from you, is if you had unlimited power to change one thing at this school, what would it be?
Unlimited power, wow. I'd bring back driving down to the field. I mean, it's funny. I mean, yeah, we talk about it. I'd bring back probably driving down to the fields. Mm-hmm. It's not that bad, yes, but people speed and you can kill that off and bring it back. It's not that bad. I mean, yeah, I don't know how much.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That one.
Yeah.
I mean, the dress is not, I don't care for it. Okay. Eventually you'll work and you have to wear it. So it's not that bad. In some colleges you have to wear suits. So it kind of sets you up and gives you a routine. It's my other thing, letting people go back out to get lunch. I mean, because some days, yeah, there might not be the lunch you want, but then you have a crave for something else. Mm-hmm. So like, why not allow you to just go get it? Okay. If you can, go, why not just go get that food? I don't think there's really a big problem with it. I mean, I see how they want us to really talk to our friends and sponsors and really bond. I understand completely, and you should. But I mean, from the stories I've heard from my dad, he was like, yeah, we would just leave and go get food and then come back for our next class. We didn't have to stay at the school like you do. I guess those are my two main ones. I don't really have any other crazy ones that I care for, honestly. I mean, the school's pretty fine. It's not really that I can really critique on. It's like super like need to happen. Not that I can say for my 4 years being here. I mean, there's nothing I'm like, oh, this has to happen. If it doesn't happen, everything's ruined. I mean, it's not really how I think of it.
Is there anything else, if you could give advice to an incoming freshman or younger kid, that you want to leave with them? Any advice that you just want to end it with?
Yeah, I guess my one biggest thing is take advantage of all the things that US gives you. I mean, there's tons of activities, plans, and clubs you can join. I mean, if you take advantage of them, you'll really enjoy yourself and set yourself up. I'd say I did, and that's how, TJ Suites happened. It's really my biggest thing. If I didn't do that, I don't really think I would have had a tremendously different experience here. I'd definitely say do that, and find your group. I mean, find your people, because there's so many different types of groups here. You should be able to find your niche, I hope. And I guess my last thing is figure out who you really want to be. And be your true self. Don't put a mask on and try to be someone you're not just because you feel that they're not gonna like you for who you are. Really just be who you are, honestly.
Well, that has been a absolute great interview with Tristan. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
By the way, to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you join us next Wednesday for another episode of the Late Start Show.
Thank you, T Money.
Yeah.